I got about 18 books on this TBR, so I need to get started because the year is just flying by already. Hello. My name is Nakia. Welcome to my channel. We are just going to get right into it because like I said in the intro, I have 18 books to talk about that are at the top of my TBR backlist titles. I already did my anticipated 2022 book releases video. I will link it here. So these are all, like I said, books that were published before 2021, I believe. They should be. So let's just get on into it. I have my reading journal here where I have jotted down all of the top of my TBR because as I'm planning each month, I go to my journal and check them off because I like to get them done. Makes me feel accomplished. So first up, we have House by the Cerulean Sea. I'm sure if you're watching this channel, you already know about this book already. You already know. I have heard so much about this book. Pretty much everybody loves it, so I hope I do too. It is, from what I know, about a man who's in charge of some specially gifted children who have things they can do. I know it's like some sprite, fairies, stuff like that. And I know he gets sent to go take care of some unruly ones. Like I said, I know it's an antichrist and something like that. Oh, and yeah, some things happen. That's all I need to know. So that's good enough for me. I know because it has to do with the Cerulean Sea, I wanted to wait till like springtime. So hopefully it fits that mood, that time. We shall see. But yeah, let's move on. Next up, we have The Echo Wife, another one that I have heard a lot about. I was not interested in this book initially because it is domestic-y. I know that it's about a woman who gets cloned. She's a wife, Echo Wife, and there's a murder. I think the husband dies, and of course there's a mystery and whatnot. Pretty much all I need to know. I hope it doesn't get too domestic-y, but so many people love this one, so I can't wait to weigh in and see what I think. I was going to read it like in January, but I was like, I'm not in the mood for the domestic stuff after I read Rock, Paper, Scissors, so hopefully I'll be in the mood a little bit later this year. Stay tuned. Next up, we have The Screaming Staircase, the first book in the Lockwood & Co. series. I heard about this from Literary Diversions. Leanne, if you don't know, her channel here on BookTube. She talked about this book and I was like, what is this? I need to know. And then after she talked about it, I started seeing so many other booktubers talk about it, but it just seemed right up my alley. There are ghosts that walk amongst us in this world. We have some kids that have abilities to see these ghosts and they investigate things. And I believe there's also a murder. They go to a haunted house. Like I said, they're investigating things. So I am so intrigued. I cannot wait to read this book. Next, we have An Elderly Lady is Up to No Good. Now, I actually saw this one on my library site. I saw the second book. I didn't know it was a second book. And I went to go look it up. I was like, the cover just intrigued me. And then I saw that there was this one that came first. And I was like, what's this? I don't know why. I love books that deal with elderly people. I guess I'd rather go older than younger. But this one is also dealing with this elderly woman who gets up to things. I know, once again, there is murder. Seems to be a theme, and she gets into some trouble. That's all I need to know. Look, I don't know a lot about these books. I just know what intrigued me. I tried to look them up before I did this video, and I was like, we're gonna remember, and we see how that's going. But all you need to know is, like I said, elderly lady, there's some murder. She gets into things. She talks to people. They tell her secrets and stuff. We'll see. Next up, we have The Infamous Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I have not read a book by V.E. Schwab yet, so this would be my first, but I was intrigued by the whole villains concept. If you don't know, I love superhero movies. Yes, I am one of those people. I prefer Marvel, not as much DC, but I was intrigued by this one. I know this is a world where people can take something, I believe, and it gives them powers. Not all good, though. Some people turn villainous, and I believe it's like good versus evil. Some of that good stuff, I don't fully know. We gonna see. I don't want to know a lot going into these books. I want to be surprised. So I hope I like it because once again, I've heard so much about this one. I think pretty much every book on this list I've heard a lot about, mostly. Of course, I have a Riley Sager on this list. Now, I have read 3 of his books so far, I believe. So this will be the 4th. I'm not sure if I'm going to read Final Girls because the slasher thing is not really my thing, but I don't know. We'll see if I want to finish his backlist. But the next one I want to read is The Last Time I Lied. This is another one that I know takes place at a summer camp, so I was waiting till warmer weather. But what I know is that a group of girls are in summer camp 3 of them go missing, I believe. One of them years later grows up. She's an artist. She gets invited back to the camp to teach art to the kids, and some things start happening that remind her of what happened in the past. Some girls go missing. She gets involved to try to figure out what happened back in the past and I guess in the present. I don't know. I'm intrigued. I've mostly heard good things about it, so fingers crossed that it's good. All right, this next one, Paris Labyrinth. I believe I found this one on my own. This one is a historical fiction, mystery, fantasy, all that good stuff, I believe. It takes place during the French World Fair or something, I think in the 1800s, but it reminds me of a book that I have on my anticipated 2022 releases list, The Secret Staircase or something like that. I'll put the title here because I don't fully remember it. But this one is also where there is a man who creates these secret rooms and stuff in houses, and something happens where some assassins, I think, are like trying to get him. This is what I know. I just know he's on the run and there's some mystery and secrets and all that good stuff. So we'll see. Sorry if I'm not giving you a lot. All the books will be linked below so you can go check them out for yourself. Again, I try to go into these not knowing too much. I read enough to make me want to read them, but trying to remember now, I don't need to know too much. Okay, next up we have Rabbits. And this one I found out about from Michael Nip here on BookTube. He just raved about this book, and so I was like, what's this? It is a world where there is an alternate reality game, and people get into this game, and I believe the main character finds out, once again, secrets, things. But I just know I love the trope of people going into a game, a virtual reality game, or some kind of technology involved with a game. So we shall see. I really got to get to this one because I think I had it on my list for last year. Not top of my TBR, but I really wanted to read it last year, so I got to get to it this year. Next up, we have Master of Jinn. This is another one I've probably had on my radar since probably early 2021, something like that. This one is about a young lady who works for the Ministry of Alchemy, Enchantments, and Supernatural Entities, something like that. Hope I got it right. But once again, there is a murder and she's going to investigate. So this one is mystery mixed with fantasy, mixed with historical fiction because it takes place in 1912. So I can't wait. You already know. Now this next one is a cozy mystery. I'm going to give another one a try, but this one has a little more comedy, which I think is what I need in my cozy mysteries. It is called A Skeleton in the Family, and I found out about this one from Courtney. Her channel is The Courtagonist. She mentioned this around Halloween time because the 3rd book in the series was more of a Halloween themed book, but the way she talked about it, I was like, what's this? It's basically a family who have a skeleton that walks and talks and all that kind of stuff, but there's a mystery about this skeleton. He does not know how he died or what happened to him. And one day he's out and he sees this woman who triggers a memory of what happened to him before. And so it's a mystery of how he died and what happened to him and all that stuff. I read a preview. It's just so light and, like I said, funny. And so I have been waiting to read this book. I'm not waiting till spooky season. No, I'm not. I will read it when I please. Thank you very much. And then I'm going to read another Shari Lapina book. I hope I'm saying her name right. Need to check out how to pronounce it one of these days. But I read An Unwanted Guest and I loved that one. So I have been trying to get to another one of her books. This one is Not a Happy Family. And Zach from Zach's Books has talked about it so much and said it's like Knives Out. Now, if you don't know by now, I have talked about this enough. I love Knives Out. I probably watch it every week. Now I don't sit and watch the whole thing, but I put it on every week. I just love it. So I hope it's close. Zach, I'm gonna be coming for you if it's not. But this one is about inheritance. We have some siblings. Their parents are murdered, I believe. Of course, there's murder. And yeah, millions are at stake. And so we're gonna find out some secrets and family stuff and all of that. So I'm looking forward to it. I hope I enjoy it. Now this next one, I'm a little intimidated, I'm not gonna lie. I actually had this on my list for 2021 as like top of my TBR. And then I was like, nope, I don't know if I can do it. I don't know. I am speaking of Piranesi. Now, I read a preview and I'm not going to lie, the very beginning is a little bit difficult to keep up with, but if you don't know, this is about a young man who is in this house. I believe it's a house, and there's all kinds of mazes and puzzles and things, something like that. But he thinks he's alone in this house and he is like learning how things work. There's like water. It's supposed to be just like this beautifully constructed house with all these things inside. But then he finds there's another person in there, and what's going on with this other person? I guess, how did he get here? I don't know. There's mystery. Of course, this is fantasy. So I'm just going to do it. I'm going to take the plunge. Everyone seems to love this book. I think the worst I've heard is just that it was just okay. But most people love this book. So I also hope I'm one of them and that it doesn't end up being a DNF. Wish me luck. Next, we have I believe, middle grade book, The Stitchers, the first book in the Fright Watch series. I heard about this book from Cameron Chaney on his channel, The Library Macabre. And this one is about some kids who have some elderly neighbors that don't seem to age. And of course, they don't die. So the mystery is, what is up with these older folks? Are they vampires, ghosts, demons? What? We don't know. We don't know. But I've heard it's good. I've had it on my list since last year. So I've got to get to it this year. We gonna do it. We gonna do it. Now this next one I had gone back and forth with between whether I wanted to read it or not. First I was like, yes, it has a buzzword. And then I was like, I started hearing some more stuff and I was like, I don't know. And then I read another book by this author and I was like, we just gonna read it. We just gonna see. I'm speaking of The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. Now I talked about one of his books in my December-January wrap-up. You can check that out. I'll link it here. But I read A Boy Called Christmas in December and I loved it. So I was like, I need to experience more Matt Haig. And The Midnight Library is mostly beloved in the book community. So I'm just going to jump in. What I know is that it's about a young lady who goes to this library where books that she pulls off the shelf give her a glimpse into another life. And I know she's not really happy with her life. She's like near suicide or something like that. So hopefully it's a little more light, not too dark, but it's fantasy. We shall see. As I said, getting into more fantasy. So hopefully I enjoy it because I think this one is a little bit polarizing. I said it's beloved, but I don't know. You tell me. Now, these next two books I own on my Kindle. So I was like, damn it, if I don't read these books, I own them. I don't know how y'all do it when you got books on your shelf that you have not read. It bugs me. So this first one is The Remaking. And I just know this is a story about some witches. I believe they get burned at the stake. And then later there is a movie made about them. And one of the actresses who's cast to play one of these witches, some strange things start happening to her, which is why it's called The Remaking, because they're remaking their story, whatever. I read a preview. I liked it so far. So hopefully I like it. I don't know. It seems to have mixed reviews. I know some other horror booktubers who have not enjoyed it, so we'll see where I fit. We'll see. And then we have Constance, a sci-fi thriller, I believe. It is about a world where cloning is a thing and the rich use cloning to escape death. And then we have this one woman who is a clone and she finds out that her original died. Something happens where she starts looking into the mystery of what happened to her clone or what's the deal with her. Mystery, sci-fi. I'm here for all of that. You know, those two things combined. Check and check. Now, this book, I cannot track it down. Well, I can't get it on my Kindle. So I'm probably going to have to buy a copy. I'm going to get it used because they also don't have it at my library. But one of my buddies, Kasha, her channel, Kasha's Book Cemetery. If you don't know, check it out. I will probably try to link all of these booktubers below. But she has talked about this book. She loved it. I think it was one of her favorite books of 2021. And I know mostly everyone has enjoyed it. It is a YA book. And I'm speaking of Mina and the Undead. Now, what I know about this one is about this young woman who goes to New Orleans, I believe for the summer, to visit her cousin. And there is a murder, of course, but the victim has puncture marks on their neck. So we think there's vampires. She starts looking into things. If I enjoy this, this will be my first vampire novel because I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about reading vampire books. I do have some favorite vampire movies, but books, I don't know. So we're going to see. And last but not least, I'm probably one of the few people who has not read this book, nor have I seen the movie. And I'm speaking of Ready Player One. I also have heard no one enjoy the second book, Ready Player Two. So it's like, I want to get into this, but then I'm like, what if I don't like the second one? But let's just not jump ahead. let's get into the first one. So what I would know about this one is that there's a young man who is involved with this virtual reality game. It's a competition, and I guess there's like clues that you got to find, and he ends up getting one of the clues and solving something, I believe. But what he finds out ends up making him a target, and other players are trying to kill him, I think. They trying to get him. I know that. So yeah, intriguing. I don't know. Like I said, I know everyone loves the movie, and I believe everyone loves the book. So I hope I do too, because once again, I love a game and a book. You know I do. So we gonna see. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up my top of my TBR list with all of my backlist titles. I make this video also for moi, so I can know what I need to read. But like I said, I got my books written in my journal. So to hold me accountable, I hope I get through all of them. Last year I did pretty good. I got through most of my top of my TBR books. So feel free to let me know in the comments if you also want to read any of these books in 2022, or, you know, you can always let me know your thoughts. I love to hear them. And if you don't have a comment, you can just leave me an emoji. Let's see, you can leave me this time, let's just go with the typical stack of books because, I mean, I don't have a physical stack, but I got a stack to get through. And as always, all of these books are linked below, as well as ways you can support my channel. Even if you click on the link and buy a book, that also helps my channel. And you can also find ways to contact me, Goodreads, I accept all friend requests, Instagram, all that good stuff. And so that is all for this video. So until next time, snuggle up in your hideaway with a good book. Unplug as much as possible. Be kind to all kind. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.